Del Boy? Nah, never heard of her. G'day everybody, it's time for a channel update. Yes, I thought I'd do a channel update, a little bit different on the back of a bike. So I'm on my CB450, just had to go and put some petrol in it, and my chickaddy's not at home. So, because I'm limited as to how many trips a year I can make on my bikes, because they're special interest registered, I have to just be careful not to rack up too many on basket case. So, what are we up to? First of all, Amputeddy, what a superstar, has come to the rescue and helped me with the wind noise in the helmet by making the ultimate sacrifice of his right arm. So that's a good thing. I do have, as you can see, a camera pointing back at me, but I neglected to check the battery condition before I left home, and it is flat. But where are we at? A couple of things. Dutchy's Dutchy's Z 1300, known in other countries as a ZN or a KZ or a Voyager. Unfortunately, at my joint, you're not allowed to be in a hurry, so I'm getting there, Dutchy. Sorry, man. A few spits of rain and non-waterproof camera. So I've done the water pump, and I've filled up the cooling system with non-Evans 50-50 mix. Let's go down to the Vale. And I've brought it up to temperature, expelled all the air, so it's all cool. It's sitting there waiting for me to get back to it. So essentially that job's now done. I'll have a chat to Dutchy, see what he wants me to do. I've got a set of aftermarket driving lights that he wants me to pop onto it. That's a fairly quick job. I might film it, but then again, it's not a lot in it. What the hell, we'll do it. And he's also got an oil leak at the back of the bike on the final drive that needs addressing, and I just need to ask him to make sure he still wants me to do that, or whether he wants the bike back, because I have taken a long time. But that's what happens when you work full time. I just need to understand whether he wants me to keep going with it. And the other job on that, I think that the clutch actuator, not the lever but the actuator, I think that needs a little bit of work too. I need to investigate it. Anywho, that's the Z1300 basket case. One of the things, I guess, is there's still a few, not just components, but well, there's a few components that I'm not overly happy with that I want to change. The first of them is the bloody indicators. They're horrible, and I mean, they looked alright online, and then I got them and I put them on the bike. I had them, so I've kind of put up with them. I just wanted something small, and they looked okay, but they're not. They're cheesy as, and we don't want cheesy as crap on the bike. So I want to get new indicators for it. I want to buy new rear shock absorbers as well, but I'm sort of balking at that because I don't know if I want to spend a couple of $1,000 on Öhlins, which is ultimately, I guess, what I want. So the answer to that, I suppose, is yeah, you will, but that can wait. Probably the biggest problem I've got with it at the moment, and it is a significant problem, is that when the fuel tank was modified, I actually didn't have in my possession at the time a welder that I could weld. Like I cut the flap section out of the top of the tank. We needed a welder fill in there and another tube to take the Monza style cap. Now at the time I didn't have a welder in my possession that I could actually do a decent job on that with. I only had a stick welder. I knew that would get ugly. So the fella who painted it for me, Darren, he had a friend that did that job for me, and I'm pissed off that I sort of let that into someone else's hands, because essentially we've got an issue with it now, in that it's got a crack, or it's found a hole in the weld, and the petrol fumes have gotten out, and they've come up under the paint, and they have blistered the paint, and the paint has lifted there. Quite a big chunk, as you can see. So that's something I need to deal with, and I don't know how the hell I'm going to deal with it. I spoke to the guys. Now I did put a fuel tank liner in it, if you remember, but I didn't put any in the top of the tank because I was concentrating the solution where the holes were, because that tank was a colander. So I needed to get it down in the bottom of the tank and where the leaks were, and of course I did that, and it was very successful. And that particular product, that red, white, blue tank liner, is manufactured here in Tasmania at Bicheno, and it's a very good quality one. It's you can't remember the bloody composition of it, but it's not like some of the others that can crack. Essentially it's more flexible. Yeah, so I spoke to them and they said, yeah, look, you can do a subsequent reline of the tank. He says, not a problem, you just got to empty the fuel out, dry it out properly. He suggested rinsing it in a bit of methanol. Sorry, not methanol. Yeah, methylated spirits, a bit of metho. And then you can reapply it, and you don't need to do obviously the first step, which is the treating of the tank. You just go over the top of your old layer, and then obviously concentrate it up in the top where that hole is, and then maybe try and do a repair on the paint. But I've got to be honest, I think it's over, which means it might actually be simpler for me to just try and find another fuel tank that's still in good condition and start again, which would be disappointing. One of the other things is that Darren has closed up his hydrographics and painting business. He's selling dirt glue. He's making that much money out of dirt glue that he got that busy with it that he didn't have enough time to keep the other business going. So I've lost my painter. Anyway, there's another. I decided that I was doing a series on subscriber bikes. All the scoots are out. Yeah, the scooter club. My wife should have been out on that. I was doing a bit of a series with subscriber bikes, and I stopped doing it, and I'll tell you why. The very first subscriber bike was an XS 1100 by a bloke in the UK, and he sold me a story, and I bought it, about all this wonderful work he did on this bike and how good it was, and he essentially used that video to help promote it. He stuck his face in everything. He was in Popular Sports Bike magazine. He had it all over friggin' every single XS 1100 Facebook group, promoted the crap out of it, talked himself up, and then put it up for sale. Turns out the man was a charlatan. He ripped off another guy who bought it sight unseen based on the bloody, he was which was, I guess, hey Knuckles, I feel for you brother, but man, you should have gone and looked at it. See, this bloke had done things like putting body filler Bondo bog in the frame where it was rusty, and did a shit job on the engine. He could never get it sorted, and it was an absolute nightmare, and I feel for poor old Knuckles, who's now doing the right thing with the bike. He could have walked away, but to his credit he didn't. So Paul, good on you. Yeah, but that sort of, I stripped his video down. I was so angry, and after that I thought, stuff it, I'm not doing this again unless I absolutely 100% know the bike and the rider and the backstory and that it's true. I guess I've sort of calmed down a bit since then, and I have decided now that I'll have another look at it. I'm not going to open the floodgates. I've got a couple in the backlogs that need doing. So yeah, I'll stitch a couple of them together. What else? I'm going to start doing some more whiteboard stuff, as I mentioned, so it doesn't get lost in the dead centre of town, filled with irreplaceable men. You know, things get buried in videos. So I'll bring them to the forefront so it can be easily searched and found if people are looking for that type of thing. Anyway, that's it. Enough ramblings. I'm going to go home. The super taxis are racing on telly today at the famous Mount Panorama circuit. I'll go home and wave the blue oval flag. And get out of this. That's it for me. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll catch you next time on Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions. Bye for now.